Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Welcome to NTV. Welcome to watch our political live talk show Shomoy Sathe. We are going to discuss today. We are going to talk today about Tower Hamlets, about upcoming mayor election. That's why with us today in our panel, honorable guest Christopher Woolford from Conservative Party, and also he is mayor candidate for London Borough of Tower Hamlets. Also with me, Mr. Ahmed Hussain, ex-councillor, also member of Conservative Party. Dear viewers, I'm really happy to see some residents from London Borough of Tower Hamlets here to tell, to share, to discuss with Mr. Chris about their demand, how they can work together to develop or to better Tower Hamlets Council. Chris, how are you today?
Good evening, Assalamu alaikum. Thanks very much for having me on the show. It's a real pleasure to be here tonight, and to all the viewers out there just coming home from work and wondering about what's going to happen over the next few months as we lead up to the mayoral election on the 22nd of May.
I have one question to you. Did you attend any Bengali TV talk show before today?
I've never attended one before, no. I mean, in 2010, I was the campaign assistant to Zakir Khan. So I was kind of behind the scenes, actually. So it's very nice to be in front of the camera today and have a shot at putting across a Conservative platform for the future of this borough.
And also some residents from London Borough of Tower Hamlets, they're ready to discuss with you, they're ready to ask you some question about their demand and how you'll run after election. If you elect a mayor for London Borough of Tower Hamlets, how you'll run or how you'll support them. They're ready to ask you how you feel that.
Good. I feel really open to that. My campaign team consists of local residents. We're fighting a really active campaign right across the borough to make sure we're tackling the big issues that matter to local people, such as sustainable development, such as education, and such as crime. So I'm really looking forward to engaging with the audience today and all of you at home if you want to ring in later on.
I think you are the mayor candidate of Conservative Party.
I am, yes.
And in London Borough of Tower Hamlets. So my question is, your government, means Conservative Party, already reduced millionaire tax, and also they cut, the low-income people benefit.
Yeah.
There's two sectors. How do you feel? What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, you say that. This Conservative-led government has also seen an increase in the national minimum wage, and we've also taken out, and this will be expanded in the budget next week, taking a lot of low-income earners out of tax up to the first 10,000. So what we've done is basically we inherited one of the worst economic situations this country has faced in recent times. We've taken tough decisions at the national level, and now what we're doing is we want to make sure that all of our people share in the proceeds of growth. Now, what I would say about this election is I am the only centre-right candidate running for the future of Tower Hamlets. My opponents are both Social Democrats, and there are other parties featuring. But what I want viewers to take away today is that my opponents, and main opponents, John Biggs and Lutfi Rahman, are going to be discussing what the state can do for you. What my campaign is about is what you, as an individual resident, can achieve for yourself. And that's the main themes I'm going to be getting across.
For the upcoming election. But my question was, why the Conservative government, means your party government, reduce millionaire tax? And also why they cut low-income people benefit?
Right. Well, I don't think we should escape the fact that we inherited a massive deficit. And we have taken tough economic decisions, and it has been tough for everyone. I admit I have had periods of unemployment during the period of this government. I understand the problems people face and the despair you can feel when you are finding it tough out there. And there has been difficult benefit decisions as well. But what I would say is the economy is now back on track. We are now back up to 1.9% growth. The British Chambers of Commerce today said our growth is now going to exceed previous levels before the crisis. And I won't get away from this. We have always been a party about aspiration and about what you can achieve. And that tax issue there, I believe you're referring to the 45% issue there. This is a symbolic issue out there we don't want to punish success. We do want people to feel that they can achieve, and that we want to be an aspirational society. I think my focus, particularly at this local level, is making sure that we get across, as well as wanting to be a party for innovation and economic growth, that we also want people to share in that growth. So I know there'll be a lot of restaurant workers just finishing up now, a lot of people on their way home. We want to make them feel that actually, yes, this is a party for me as an individual. Though there have been tough times, they are putting together a credible platform for the future of the borough that I can share in. And part of this plan, as I've laid out, and we'll be doing so over the next few months, is I want a jobs for growth strategy, and I want to make sure that all of our people are sharing in the proceeds of economic growth.
Thank you very much, Chris. Now I need to go for Ahmed Hussain.
Shall I add on? Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting us to the program.
Yeah.
Do you want me to speak in Bengali, or do you want to speak?
It's up to you. You can speak.
Your viewers are mainly Bengali.
Mainly Bengali. So,
So,
it's up to you. If you can speak English or you can speak Bengali.
Because it's a Bengali channel, I'd rather speak Bengali.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Chris?
I'm
fine.
perfectly easy with that, yes.
আপনি যেটা বলছেন যে ওর সাথে যেটা আপনি বলছেন, I just want to pick up on that.
Okay.
যে বেনিফিট কাট হচ্ছে এবং রিডিউস হচ্ছে বিলিয়নারদের। কিন্তু আপনি যখন গভর্নমেন্ট, আপনি সবার জন্য গভর্নমেন্ট। ওকে। আপনি শুধু একজনের জন্য গভর্নমেন্ট না, বা একটা কমিউনিটির জন্য আপনি গভর্নমেন্ট না, আপনি সবার জন্য, তাই না? আপনি যদি গরিবদেরকে দেখাশোনা করেন, বড় লোকদেরকেও দেখাশোনা করবেন। আজকে এই যে এই প্ল্যাটফর্মে আমরা আসছি এনটিভিতে, এনটিভির মালিক হয়তোবা মিলিয়নিয়ার, হয়তোবা, আর আমি আপনি হয়তোবা না, তাই না? তাহলে গভর্নমেন্ট কি ওনার জন্য এক, আপনার জন্য আরেক করবে? সবার জন্য সে গভর্নমেন্ট। তাহলে যে নাকি এই যার নাকি মিলিয়ন পাউন্ড আছে, সে আরো দেখেন আরো কয়টা ফ্যামিলিকে সে কাজ দিতেছে, তাই না? এই যে এনটিভিটা দেখেন, এনটিভিতে কতগুলি লোক কাজ করতেছে, তাই না? তাদের জন্য কতগুলি ফ্যামিলি বাইচা রয়েছে। তো তাকে যদি আমরা 5% এনকারেজ করি, তাহলে অসুবিধা কি?
অর্থাৎ এই ক্ষেত্রে
আপনি অন দি আদার সাইড আপনি দেখেন ফ্রান্সে যে হল্যান্ড যে প্রেসিডেন্ট, সে দেখেন 75% ট্যাক্স করছে বড় লোকের জন্য, বিকজ দে আর সোশ্যাল ডেমোক্র্যাট, তাই না? 75% করাতে সবাই কিন্তু ইংল্যান্ডে চলে আসতেছে, এবং একজন চলে গেছে রাশিয়াতে, ডিপ্রেও চলে গেছে রাশিয়াতে। কেন চলে গেছে? বিকজ ওরা কষ্ট করে সারা জনম কষ্ট করে যে একটা না, সারা জনম আমি কষ্ট করছি, কষ্ট করার পর আমি একটা প্ল্যাটফর্ম আসছে, আমি আরো লোকজনকে হেল্প করতেছি। সেই জায়গায় যাওয়ার পরে গভর্নমেন্ট বলতেছে তুমি আরো দাও, 80% দাও। মার্গারেট থ্যাচারের আগে 80% ছিল ট্যাক্স এই দেশে, সব চলে গেছে ফ্রান্সে। মার্গারেট থ্যাচার আসার পর এটা 50% নিয়ে আসছে, আবার চলে আসছে। Let me just quickly tackle your lower end of the question, যে আপনার যাদেরকে বেনিফিট কাট করছে, বেনিফিট কাউকে কাট করে নাই, বেনিফিট রিফর্ম করা হয়েছে। বেনিফিট ইজ দেয়ার, ইজ এ সেফটি নেট। আপনার যখন কাজ থাকবে না, আমার যখন কাজ থাকবে না, উই উইল গো টু দ্য বেনিফিট, অ্যান্ড আমাদের ওইটা আমরা পাবো, আমাদেরকে হেল্প করবে। কিন্তু এটা সারা জনমের জন্য না। আপনি ওইখান থেকে বেরিয়ে আসবেন, বেরিয়ে এসে আপনি আপনার নিজের সংসারে নিজের ইয়াতে করবেন। আপনি চিন্তা করেন, একটা বাঙালি ফ্যামিলিতে যে লোকটা কাজ করে, তার ছেলে মেয়ে কিন্তু প্রাউড ফিল করে যে আমার বাবা কাজ করে, আমার বাবা এসা আমাদেরকে তার কষ্টের অর্জিত পয়সা দিয়ে আমাদেরকে খাওয়া দেয়, কাপড় চোপড় দেয়, সব করে, তাই না? কিন্তু যদি আপনি সেটা কষ্ট অর্জিত না হয়, তাহলে ছেলে মেয়েরাও ওরকমই এটা মনে করে।
কি মনে হয় এই যে বেনিফিট কাটা বা বেনিফিট রিফর্ম করার কারণে কি আমাদের টাউন হামলেটসের রেসিডেন্টসের কোনো ইফেক্ট বা কোনো ক্ষতি বা কোনো প্রবলেম ক্রিয়েট হলো কিনা, আপনার কি মনে হয়?
I don't see any problems, কারণ কি আপনার গভর্নমেন্ট যেরকম আপনি সেফটি রিফর্ম করছে, সেরকম তারা পয়সাও রাখছে। ফর এক্সাম্পল, আপনার বেনিফিটে যারা দুর্গস্থ, তাদের জন্য গভর্নমেন্ট হ্যাজ পুট ইন মোর দেন 50 মিলিয়ন পাউন্ড সাইড, যে আপনি যদি প্রবলেম ক্রিয়েট হয় এখান থেকে আপনি পাবেন, এবং সেটা আপনার ক্রিয়েট করার জন্য আপনার এই যে কোনো কাউন্সিল ক্যান অ্যাপ্লাই অন দ্যাট।
Excuse me, what I would also intervene at this juncture is to say I think the debate needs to move forward now into saying that this has occurred, but now we are entering growth. This borough still has 12% unemployment, it exceeds that in certain parts. How do we make sure that now we share the proceeds of growth and are confident that our borough is putting in place policies that will deliver jobs for local people and ensure that we can all share in that growth. So I think what we need to do now is look forward to the future, and how now we're growing, how we can make sure all residents are sharing in that.
Sure. Thank you very much. Can I take one question, then I'll come to you again. Mr. Ahad, can you ask a question to Mr. Chris about your demand? Can you tell your name and your area?
My name is Mohammed Ahad.
Can you take the microphone closer?
And I have a few questions. To start off with one.
Yes.
My first question is:
Can you take?
Do you support Tory group leader Councillor Gour's campaign to get rid of Banglatown? That's my first question. So do you want me to continue with that?
If you can speak Bangla, we don't mind. I think he will translate.
No,
to his.
yeah.
Can you take the microphone closer? That's great. Can you ask a question again?
Yeah, I'm asking the question. My question is that do you support Tory group leader Councillor Gour's campaign to get rid of Banglatown?
Yeah. The next question.
What is your view of Labour Councillor Anwar Khan's allegations that to get on as a Bengali in the Tower Hamlets Labour Party, you have to be unemployed and speak bad English?
Thank you. Chris, he told 2 questions. Can you give the answer?
I don't think
about the Councillor Gould and about the Anwar Khan councillor.
If I tackle the Labour Party issue first,
it's an internal matter.
That's an internal matter for them, really. I wouldn't feel confident myself commenting on what's going on there. And if I can just make another point about my campaign, I fought in 2010 as the campaign assistant for Zakir Khan, and I also stood in Stepney. And I'm aware that the politics here can descend into a battle of personalities. I want to fight a very positive campaign, focusing on policies, reaching out across the community and engage with people on issues rather than individual dynamics. I think this campaign, particularly in areas like Shadwell and Stepney, is going to get very nasty. And what I want to make clear to people is we are not in that game to get involved in that. And we want to talk about the policies with people rather than attack individual personalities. So I don't feel equipped to comment on that internal Labour matter. I think that's an issue for them.
Yeah, and the second question?
And with regards to the campaign on Banglatown, I'm aware that he's very passionate about that particular issue. For me, myself, my personal opinion is I sort of, we're a diverse borough. And Banglatown, I think, I personally, I don't mind that. I think it's good. So with regards to that, I know he has a personal focus on that. But for me, I haven't been involved in that campaign. And I'm quite content with it to reflect. I don't know if Ahmed has a...
you just told now about Banglatown. Most of the people are Bengali community, and they want the name should be Banglatown. Yeah, the Boundary Commission tried to change the name, and also, did you play any roles when they try to change? They have changed.
I think he said no.
I wasn't involved with that campaign. I think it's great.
But most of the voter, your residents are Bengali, and their demand should be the name should be Banglatown. And why you?
I think a combination of the two, Spitalfields.
Because Lutfur Rahman was in the field that time.
What's that?
Current Mayor Lutfur Rahman was in the field, was in the campaign.
Yeah.
How they make campaign to keep Banglatown name.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Why didn't I? I suppose I'm quite fresh in the politics. So I was involved in 2010 and focusing on different issues. I've mainly focused on assisting local young people help find jobs through jobs fairs and that sort of thing. And I wasn't playing an active part in that campaign to get it sort of branded at that time.
Because now the residents will ask about the Banglatown because they're emotional and their main demand.
Can I just come into that just to help you on this answer? Is that if you remember that Councillor Abdulullah tried to change the a station named to Banglatown Station. Do you remember? some time ago. Yes, he wanted to rename, and there was campaign.
The Whitechapel station or
no, the Aldgate station.
Aldgate
because
station.
there's Aldgate and there's Aldgate East.
Okay.
So his theory was, let's call it Banglatown Station.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's not a problem. Yeah. But there were also representation and opposition, and then TFL had to decide which way they do. No, I'm coming to your answer.
Okay.
So the example that I'm giving, when a politician, a sitting elected member, does something, it's not wholly their view. Yeah, it's a representative view. Now, if today, let's say Lutfur Rahman is there, or John Biggs goes there, or he goes there, Chris goes there. He will have a representative view. Okay. Now, if people write to him and say, can you represent me, and I don't want this, then he has the duty to do that.
That's been that people didn't write to him.
What I have found in discussion with my group in the council is that a certain group named the Spitalfields group, and there's a Brick Lane group, mostly majority are English, they have went to the council and asked Peter and the group to represent them. Okay. Now, if you and I had
from break, them after break, we will discuss again.
If you and I, let me just make the last point. If you and I had went there and made the representation, I'm sure Peter would have made the same kind of representation.
I'm coming after break. We will discuss because this is a big issue for Bengali community for Tower Hamlets residents. Dear viewers, we are talking about Tower Hamlets, about Banglatown. We will discuss after break. So stay with us.
আপনারা দেখছেন সময়ের সাথে, সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস এবং ইউনিভার্সাল সলিসিটার্স।